Hello, lovelies. It's She here from Golden Thread Tarot, and this is going to be part 2 of your collective message from your light and from your shadow self. Okay, so if you haven't checked out part 1 and you feel guided to, and you're ready to hear those shadow messages, I'll try to remember to link that around. Okay, but if you're here, we're going to be getting into the light body or your higher self collective messages. Okay, that you have, and we're going to be doing the work your light. Okay, messages for these. So let's go ahead and get into it. What does the collective light body or higher self have to say? I'm hearing believe. Believe. Believe and trust and have faith. That things that, you know, that you are being aligned right now. That really coincides a lot with what your shadow self was saying as well, because of course those two sides of yourself mirror each other. So let's go ahead and pull some messages from your light self. Oh, yes. I'm going to pull 4 messages as well. Okay. Confirmed there with that mirror. Okay. 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 Oh, I did see that. Okay. Thank you, spirits. Okay. This also might have some messages from your star seed. Okay, collective as well, if you resonate with that. All right. Messages from your light self. First message here, which really coincides really nicely with your shadow messages that you got here from Kali as well, is priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? So your light self, okay, here also I do want to talk about, you know, with the Kali that came out here, all right, for your shadow self, as well as, okay, the strength and the star card that came out here, clarifying your shadow side as well. That really ties in here to the star energy here, temperance energy. Let's clarify it, and then I'll get into the message for it. Thank you. Ooh, I knew it. I knew it. High Priestess. I knew it was gonna come out. Oh. Ooh, love that. Love that. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, interesting. Thank you. Clarifying that. Ooh, love that energy. Wow, you guys, I wish you could have seen that, because these cards are literally falling over exactly the cards that I'm trying to clarify. That's insane. I love when Spirit does that. Is there anything else? No. Spirit said that's all. Okay. Okay. High Priestess. Or Priestess being clarified by the High Priestess and the Ace of Cups. Okay. You are tapping in to an all-new, higher version of yourself, okay? A much more rounded version of yourself, a much more balanced version of yourself, a version of yourself that trusts your instincts, right? There was a lot of mistrust about authority figures, about where you're being guided, that was given to you at a younger age, that you are really breaking out of right now. You are going through this metamorphosis here. Okay, they're showing me like a butterfly breaking out of its chrysalis, right? That kind of energy, where there is this new beginning energy here of supreme clarity and understanding that's being brought forth, right? Seeing behind the veil. And I like in this High Priestess that on the other side of the veil of consciousness that's behind her, that's depicted behind her, there is glimpses of kind of like the ocean of water behind her. You see that? So it's about trusting these overflowing emotions that you have here and allowing yourself to not be ruled by your emotions, but to use them as a guide to understand that your higher self is speaking to you through these emotions. And we talked about that in your shadow region, in your shadow reading as well, right? The collective part of the shadow reading, which was the anger and the pain and all of that are your guides. They aren't to steer your ship completely, right? They aren't to take over. You aren't to give yourself and completely just respond solely out of the shadow side of yourself, but there is this understanding, this light to be shown on those parts of yourself as well. And Spirit is saying, when you can accept this part of yourself, you can find this balance in the light and the shadow, which is what your shadow is trying to do. It's trying to make its way and integrate itself into your light body, into your higher self, right? As well. There is this power that you will find, this empowerment that you will find inside of yourself. That's this deep, incredible well that is going to connect you to the higher realms, that is going to connect you to your past life, to your Akashic records, to everything that has come before you, all the culmination of all the things that have come before you in this life and in past lives, that you will be able to draw from this overflowing well of understanding, of knowledge, right? And I love too that we have this priestess here, or this priest, which is mirrored here in this high priestess, but it's also this dove, right, with the wings, mirrored here in this high priestess card as well. You know, and the lotus down here signifying finding the clarity, rising out of your ego, or out of the mud, out of the karmic flood, outside of the it's kind of like raising up and finally breaking the surface and having this clear knowledge inside of yourself as to why you went through the things that you went through, and to acknowledge the significance of how they play into. They don't take away from you. They aren't scars that take away from your beauty. They aren't Mars, that take away from you. They are a part of your character just as much as the light side, just as much as the happiness, just as much as the sun, just as much as, the clouds are just as much as, the clearing. It's all just a part of it. And it is a much deeper understanding that you will be coming into, that you will be tapping into. And understanding that your shadow really is just calling out and asking for clarity. And your higher self is here to provide that clarity for you, to provide the clearing to the cloudiness that some of the karma and some of the shadow can provide, right? To bring in this healing energy. There's kind of this triumphant energy that your shadow self is bringing out, that is being mirrored here in your higher self as well. And speaking of the mirror, who or what is triggering you? And what is triggering you, your spirit is saying, is that this mirroring energy between your higher and your shadow self, and the reflection and the projection of who you are and who others have made you feel like you have to be. That is what is triggering you. And Spirit is also saying, things like that don't have to sculpt you. They don't have to be necessarily who you are. Who or what is triggering you being clarified by the Tower. Right? These Tower moments that are happening here in your life are shining a light with the sun energy here on these parts of yourself, maybe perhaps that you haven't really wanted to see here. In your shadow. And because your light self is kind of taking a back seat, kind of taking a, hey, it's not like, it's like, oh, your shadow is guiding you, but it's like a light needs to be shown on that part of yourself. And that's what your higher self is doing, is here providing this light, providing these tower moments so that you know what's triggering you. You're being triggered by these tower moments so that this light can be shown on those parts of yourself that need to be acknowledged, that need to be, and for some of you, they need to be acknowledged, and they don't need to be necessarily, spirit doesn't want to say necessarily torn all the way down, like we would think about a more traditional tower moment, but in a sense of just they need to be acknowledged so that they can be reworked, so that they can be rebuilt, so that they can fall into their proper place, is what spirit is saying. Birthing a new age. The synchronicity of how, of the cards and the meanings that are coming out on each of these. So as we talked about here, about, right, the version of your shadow self that was representing this death energy, right? The mistress of the ashes, burning away all of those things, burning away all of those things that you see, the fire burning in the background, burning away and rising out from the ashes, anew, reborn, right? Birthing this new age of yourself into being on the wake of this transformational energy of you standing in your light, of you standing in your power, and of you planting these seeds for the future, not so much based on what you've been told you had to be, right? And more on just who you really are and who you really want to be represented. And this is being clarified here by the Ace of Pentacles, this gift that you are being given. Birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. And it is about, yeah, your light body self just keeps saying, I'm stepping aside and allowing you to find your way, right? Like this beacon, kind of like a light tower moment here, right? I'm coming up and popping up into your life and boom, causing these tower moments to happen so that this transformational energy, because this energy needed to be acknowledged, and in some ways some parts of it needed to be purged, and then other parts of it needed to be acknowledged. It all needed to be acknowledged, and some of it needed to be purged and let go of, and some of it needed to be examined and integrated, right? It all needed to be examined, and then what needs to be purged, what do I need to let go of, and what parts of this do I understand at my base are just that little kid needing to be acknowledged, needing to be seen, right? And how can I bring myself into union with this part of myself that is growing, that is integrating, that is upgrading, that is glowing up, that is connecting with the version of myself that I truly want to be. Whoops. Oh, let's knock that off. And it is this seeing, because we talked about that earlier in the shadow reading, seeing the divine blessing reflected, reflecting to you, that is being reflected in all of the shadow work that you're doing, and all of this energy up here in your shadow side. And this is, in all of the shadow work that you're doing, and then in all of the light work that you're doing. So I really feel like mostly there's a lot of energy here about what you're doing with the work that you're doing with your shadow self. And it's such an important part of this journey. And that's what your light body is saying. I get praised enough. I get put on a pedestal enough. Your shadow self needs this space inside of yourself as well, right? It needs to be acknowledged. It needs to be seen as worthy as well, because it does deserve, because it is a part of you as much as anything else. And I just keep with that, I just keep getting this energy of kind of, and I hate to say this word because I don't say it in the sense of, but it is this kind of sense of like grooming, of being conditioned, right? Maybe that's a better word for it, of being conditioned to be that good little boy or that good little girl. And in some sense, that can be, it is important that we do have, society teaching us how to exist in this society, but it really depends on your teacher. It really depends on their issues that they're dealing with and how they project those issues, and the issues that they've seen. Have they done their shadow work, or are they simply projecting that that shadow side of themselves onto you, giving you more shadow work to do? So I really feel like your light body is saying, I am here telling you that it's not just about reaching me and coming into full fruition, right? Um, on the other side of this, it's so important to give this space to your shadow, um, as well. It's so important to acknowledge that part of yourself as well. I think it's too many people that, they want to acknowledge the light, but they don't want to acknowledge the dark. Or if they do acknowledge the dark, it's just in a sense of, it's something to be run away from. It's something to be extinguished. It's something to be, which is interesting. It's an interesting word to say that you should extinguish the darkness, because usually extinguish is a word being used to give in the light. But it's kind of like a drowning out the darkness from just shining light on everything. And yes, it is important to shine light on the darkness, but it is important to give it its own space as well. But we shine light on it so that we get rid of the more, perhaps, vengeful parts of our darkness, and kind of take away the power, right? It's kind of like in a scary movie where where it's really a thing to wait to show the villain, or to wait to show the monster until the end, because once you see it, it kind of takes away some of that, the horror of it, right? It takes away some of the horror of it once you see it. It's much more powerful to leave it up to, it's much more powerful to leave it up to mystery, to leave it up to your mind to craft up an even scarier version of what the reality actually is. And that is a part of your shadow self that is being shined on right now, where it is like sometimes your shadow would take over too much control of that, right? It would be too much when your light self is trying to come in and shine a light and saying, it's not as bad as you think it is. Let me shine a light to reveal the monster to you, so that it's not, oh, what could it be? It could be a million different things. Like, no, here it is. Let me look at it. Let me reveal it. Let me see it. Let me understand it. And take away some of the horrible mystery of it. Spirit wants me to draw another card. Another clarifying card for this birthing a new age. Yeah, wow. Yeah, exactly. Going inside, finding that truth, finding that star, finding that healing, right? And letting it be your guide forward. Yeah. Yeah, and definitely putting in that work on the verge of this death energy, right? But Six of Wands, finding your victory, finding the acknowledgement, right? That was the whole thing, that so much that I want to be acknowledged. I want to be seen. I want my value to be recognized. I want my worth to be recognized, right? And that is what this new age that you're birthing it into existence is, on the verge of this death energy, on the verge of this, burning it down, and on the other side, and breaking it down to its most basic components so that you can rebuild, right? Now it's reminding me to hear these concentric circles, because I was noticing the difference between building a tower and it's here, right? It's almost as if like this tower has been here, and as you know, it strikes and it burns down and it reveals like at its base here, right? What was underneath this tower? Because it's reminding me like it's almost like this tower is like, you know, it's what do you call them? The cornerstones of the building, the very foundational stones that are at the very bottom of the tower right here. And it's like seeing this version of yourself that's here, locked, that was locked away, buried underneath this tower of, you know, shame or guilt or anger or all the things that you have been through in your life, and allowing that tower to fall to reveal that base version of yourself, and in there growing and magnifying, because they're literally showing me like a whole scene now of like, it's like clouds rolling in, and you know, it's like being in the clear and then clouds rolling in and a storm coming and lightning starting, and you know, and then the winds start to pick up, and then lightning starts crashing and crashing, and the waves get all crazy, and your, you know, the waves representing your emotions and your, you know, and your feelings becoming almost to a point where it's like, I will not be ignored anymore. We talked about that in your shadow reading, this having that energy of like lashing out, of like, I will not be ignored anymore, and getting crazy. And then the tower, boom, you know, and the fire starts and it comes down and it breaks apart, and okay, and it falls down and it breaks apart, and it, sorry, I have someone coming over to over to my house to work on something, and they just messaged me. But and breaking down and crashing down and coming down in this big giant, and all this dirt and all of this like soot and everything just kind of coming up and blanketing and creating kind of like the Seven of Swords energy of where is it going, what's being left, what do I have, and then all of a sudden it's like this bright light just beams out of the shadow, out of the muck, out of, you know, clearing away. And that's this energy here at the base of this tower falling. Here is this version of you waiting to be born, waiting so that this version of yourself can rebuild a tower out of something different, using different materials, using, you know, it's like, I talked about that in a reading before. It was like tearing down a dark tower to build a tower of light. I talked about that in a reading. Tearing down this tower, this dark tower, to rebuild a tower of light with inside of yourself, birthing this new version of yourself into creation, you know, on the other side of this, you know, of this death energy here in your shadow. Because with death is an autumn is a rebirth as well, in a different form. And that's where you will find this ace, you know, this grounding of this blessing energy. What a blessing it is for it to have all fallen down, and for you to have this new foundation here to build upon, to build this new version of yourself, to create this new world for yourself, right? Birthing a new world into being. The birth process, the death process, it's not easy, right? But in there, you will be finding this victory, this acknowledgement that you have been waiting for, that you have been looking for. You know, and finding this balance and finding this new version of yourself, finding this enlightenment that you have been searching for, finding a way to get out of this energy right here, okay? You have the star mother energy. How can you mother yourself? How can you nurture yourself? And that energy here, the self-care, self-love, self-soothing, right? The new version of yourself that you are birthing is a version of yourself that gives yourself the space to acknowledge who you truly are, right? The very thing your shadow self was crying out for, was demanding, was throwing fits over. I need to be acknowledged. I need to be seen, right? And holding that space for yourself here, right? To give yourself that space to allow this shadow version of yourself to grow. Because the big shadow work that I'm really getting is a lot of inner child healing work, right? And your shadow's kind of been throwing a fit. It's kind of been throwing a tantrum. It's kind of been needing to be seen, needing to be heard, acting out because it needs this mothering energy from you. And your light body self is saying, give yourself that space, give yourself this energy, give yourself this that you deserve to have. Give yourself this. Because this star mother energy is being clarified by the Four of Cups. Something that you have but you feel like you're missing, right? Along comes you in this energy, growing and having these 3 cups, having all of this, but still dreaming about something that you feel like you're missing, that part of you, that hole inside of you, that empty part of you that feels like it needs to be filled, that you were filling with whatever your shadow self was like. It's kind of it's kind of like they're showing me like a kid being like, oh, well, when I'm gonna grow up, I'm gonna eat whatever I want, I'm gonna do whatever I want. And it's kind of this energy of what you feel like you would really want, so what your shadow self is telling you, oh yeah, no, eat that, yeah, no, date that person is not good for you, oh no, say that thing that that you shouldn't, oh no, this and that, because this version of me deserves to be acknowledged, it deserves to be seen, it deserves to be heard, and it deserves a place to exist in your life. You don't have to closet the side of yourself because you feel like you need to fit into this box of the good little girl or the good little boy kind of energy, right? It's this feeling, this lack energy, and the spirit is saying, hey, this Ace of Cups that you keep waiting for, that you keep pondering over, that you keep feeling like I don't have, and I can't have it, and I can't acknowledge what I do have because I am missing this. It's not some mysterious thing out there that you're missing. It's not whatever it was that you were trying to use to fill this feeling of lack. You have this feeling of lack inside of yourself because at your base you did not get this like your shadow self and like you think you deserved, and like you probably didn't get it like you deserved. So spirit is saying here, acknowledge this part of yourself that's crying out to be acknowledged, right? That's crying out. Look at this, how this balanced version of yourself, when you're integrating the shadow into yourself, it was clarified here with this Queen of Cups. And look how much, look, they even, the kind of the shell even kind of looks like this moon energy that's here, almost framing this person. And you can't see it here, but you can kind of see it. Can you kind of see it right here? Where there's this kind of like radiant energy all around her, and it looks almost just like this shell energy here. Can you guys see that? You see it? This radiant energy over here. And you see how it mirrors this shell around her. And not considering her kind of blue robes and things that mirror that, tapping into that mothering, loving energy that you feel like you were missing. And to see that energy, as cliche as it sounds, it is true. It is not out there mysteriously somewhere. It's within you. It's within your power to give it to yourself. because it will never be fulfilled by that other person out there. You know, it's not going to be fulfilled by drinks. It's not going to be fulfilled with smoke. It's not going to be fulfilled with food. It's not going to be fulfilled with however many accomplishments, as wonderful and as worthy as those accomplishments are, you know, getting in that good relationship, doing that. None of those things are going to fill you up. You are going to fill you up. You're going to fill up your own cup. And that's what your highest self has been coming through to tell you this whole time, is that this love that you've been seeking, this appreciation, this acknowledgement that you seem to never be able to get, no matter, so it's like this energy of, well, no matter how much I give, and no matter how much I work, and no matter how much, I just feel like I don't have the not the you know, I don't have the acknowledgement that how much am I going to have to accomplish? How much am I going to have to do? When is this need or this want or this hunger inside of me going to be fulfilled? There is nothing out there that is going to fulfill that need inside of you. It is going to be something you are going to have to fulfill inside of yourself. It's never going to be this outside, this exterior acknowledgement that is going to make up for the lack of the interior acknowledgement that you need. Because it'll never be enough. You'll always be pushing yourself because there is not that sense of accomplishment inside. Right? There is always the sense of, I am lacking, so I need to fulfill it with exterior things. And it doesn't just have to be, you know, material things. But there is not that perfect relationship. There is not that twin flame. There is not that perfect job, that perfect body, any of that is going to fulfill you. Like you acknowledging you. Right? So you could have a million fans and it's gonna still have that emptiness inside of you. Yeah, it might feel good, and I'm sure that it would. And it does deserve whatever all the work, it does deserve to be acknowledged, but nothing from that exterior, like, good job, oh my gosh, you're doing such a good, none of that is going to replace you feeling that inside of yourself, right? And because it's a general reading, it's going to be different. What's going to get there, what's going to get you there, what's going to be the solution to find that inside of yourself, it's going to be different for each of you. But as far as this general reading, Spirit is saying it's just about carrying yourself. It's about stopping and thinking, I'm always missing something. I'm always missing something. I'm always lacking something. There's always something else out there that I need that's going to fulfill this want, this need inside of me. And Spirit is like, it's not. You know, look how much you're growing. Look how much you're flourishing already. Look how much you already have. That one extra, you know, that one cup, that one person, that one relationship, that one whatever it is, that one goal is not going to fill it up. Because that's why you always just go on. You want and want and want, and then you get it, and then it's not enough. And then as soon as you get it, it's like, oh, wow, I finally got it. What do I want now? What else do I want now? And I want and I want and I want, and I work and I work and I work, and I finally got it. Well, what else do I want now? You know, it's because there is this hole, you know, or this lack energy inside of you that you are trying to fill. That nobody else, that nothing else can fill. It is only you that can fill it. It's only your own love, your own acknowledgement, your own sense of self. It is you stopping and rejecting this part of yourself and integrating it that will bring you to the point that you need to see. You know, and this is something that you have been, you know, Eight of Swords, a prison of your own making. It has been a prison of your own making, keeping yourself trapped here. Like, oh, well, there must be something else. There has to be some other goal. There has to be some other thing that just is going to fill this up, that is going to make me feel satisfied. You know, oh, well, what's going to fill that? What's going to make me feel this way? What's going to finally give me that energy that I've been searching for elsewhere out there? Why can I never find it? Because it's within you. As cliche as it sounds, it's true. Yeah. And Spirit is saying, hey, that's just something, that's what you're working on now. Queen of Swords. This is also about establishing better boundaries with yourself and allowing these parts of yourself that need to end, that need to stop, self-saboteuring parts of yourself. End it. End it. Acknowledge it. See it. End it. Let it come to an end. It is naturally happening. It is naturally happening. But Spirit is saying it will flow a lot better if you allow. If you don't try to control so much. That's when your wish fulfillment will come in. That's when you will feel this union and this energy, this peaceful, happy, nostalgic times. They, you knew that you wanted this the whole time. It's what Spirit is saying. So it's about establishing those better boundaries, not only with other people, but about yourself. And I really feel like you've been doing a better job setting those boundaries with other people. But now it's really about holding yourself to task as well. And not just seeing it as parts of yourself you need to hack and cut away, but parts of yourself that need to be acknowledged. And Spirit saying, that's the truth. That is the truth, Mama. Ooh, there it is. Empress. Balancing out, right? We talked about that earlier in the shadow side. Balancing out that inner feminine and inner masculine part of yourself. And finding that stability, finding that balance, finding that within yourself. Hierophant. They do want me to read this Hierophant in the reverse, though, so it is breaking and reestablishing these schools of thought, these philosophies inside of yourself, about how you view yourself, about the box, about the rules, about the checklist of who you are and what you're supposed to follow and who you're supposed to be. Yeah, exactly. It's about putting an end to this devil control energy, the things that the ties that bind, the chains that hold you down. And it's about breaking and fulfilling those and breaking them down. That's all a part of this tower energy, right? It is this energy of feeling like you hold yourself back, you hold your emotions back, you hold back how you really feel about situations because I don't want to say it's as strong as like a fear, but there is fear energy here of competition, of other people cutting you down when you shine brightly. I really feel like you're dealing with a lot of, past energy here, past life energy here around this. Could even deal with a lover, past life lover energies, past life choices energy that you made here. It's really the sense of, there's a lot of past life energy here of feeling like, yeah. So it's cutting down these illusions in your life, cutting down these illusions that have been placed there from your past. And this is not just about in this lifetime, which a lot of your shadow self was talking about stuff in this lifetime. Your higher light body self is talking about a lot of things that have happened in the past They're at a distance from you. That was the Three of Wands. So it's this feeling of letting go of the illusions. Letting go of the illusions. Letting go of this fear that you will be cut down if you shine too brightly. It's this energy of dimming yourself so that so yeah, and oh, this is past life energy. This is big past life energy with this Wheel of Fortune, Temperance, and the Six of Cups. Big past life energy. And I'm not gonna lie, okay? I'm not gonna lie. This is just for those that resonate with this, but I am getting a very big energy of a partner in a past life really causing a lot of heartbreak. Maybe that's the truth. Maybe even twin flame energy here, okay, causing a lot of heartbreak, feeling like in the past you were cut down, or like your life was cut short, or it's this energy of if I don't stand out, then I can't be. If I don't stand out, then I can just kind of go under the radar, and it doesn't have to be such a big deal. I'll just dim myself down so that I don't cause problems. It's this kind of energy that you're working through with that as well. Yeah. Oh, just past life karmic lessons here. And for some of you, that's the Nine of Wands. For some of you, definitely. Oh, look at that with the Wheel of Fortune and the Lovers, 100%. So this is energy, even if it's not like a twin flame kind of energy here for you. And again, that's popped right back out again with the Lovers, with the Wheel of Fortune, and the Emperor showing itself again back there in the back. So that's a that's a 3 times confirmation that for some of you this is about a betrayal, or this is about an energy that you dealt with in a partner in the past where you felt like you shone very brightly, and it could have caused either a breakup energy to happen here, or it could have caused something tragic to happen. Yeah. This person left you, or this person abandoned you, or this person felt intimidated by you, or you felt like at the end of the day, you shining brightly and being yourself made this person either highlighted you too much, so this person left you, or it caused some kind of energy of this person to possibly lose their life, or for you to lose your life in the past. Standing in your truth in the past has caused a lot of pain and a lot of heartache to you. Okay. For people judging you, or for people, passing judgment on you, for people not, as I say that in the Judgment card right there. Yeah. And it's this feeling of, oof, as this past feeling of pain, causing trouble, stirring up trouble, causing pain from you standing up and being your true self. So this is a past life energy that has come back around, that is saying that you're not only fighting your shadow from this lifetime, but from other lifetimes as well, because of events that have happened. You're burning through so much karma because of events that have happened, and it's this Page of Cups in reverse. This very unapologetic, it's this energy of learning how to unapologetically be you, regardless of what situation that might put other people in. Because I feel like your spirit guides are trying to tell you this is not going to happen again. You don't have to be scared to be you. You don't have to be afraid that you'll be hammered down, or that you'll be nailed down, or that you'll be kind of a target kind of energy, because there is this fear energy in you of being yourself. As I say that, the devil pops out. Being yourself and having being that really be the cause of a lot of pain and suffering in your life. Some of you might really, if you've had any kind of like past life readings, or if you've had any kind of regressions, you might really resonate with possibly being judged for being a type of spiritual person. Now, that doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't mean that you were reading cards or that you were medium or something like that. You could have been, you know, labeled a witch, and you could have gotten persecuted for that. I mean, you could have even been labeled, you know, being a more, what we would consider a traditional, you know, you could have even been persecuted in times for being a Christian, or for being a certain religion, of, or having, or holding on to like more traditional. And I am getting a very like switching over of religion, so maybe being judged really harshly by, at the time contemporarily, it would be a new religion, or an, you know, and you're trying to hold on to the old ways, and you got punished for that, or you got, you know, you could have lost your life, your family could have lost your life, that kind of energy, where it's like this energy of holding on and standing firm in your values and in your beliefs, even, you know, and it's kind of this energy of, did I make the right choice? Because so much pain came from standing in my truth. Did I make the right choice? And there is this kind of energy here of working through that, of working through the fear from that. And that could be, you know, I'm seeing that that could definitely be could be marrying in this lifetime as well as past lifetimes. This kind of persecution energy of being persecuted for being who you really are. And that really could have been being married in this lifetime as well with, maybe it could have been, you know, I'm not going to say as harsh as in the past, but it could have been very similar. You know, you could have always felt that kind of energy of being judged. Three of Cups. Yeah. Oh, wait. And for some of you, definitely you could have had a spouse leave you over could have had a spouse abandon you or leave you. Like a spouse was like, I want to transition over into this new spirituality or into this new religion because it is what will save us. And you're like, no, I want to stand in our traditional beliefs. I want to stay in our traditional system. There is this energy of two people feeling like the other one is abandoning the other one. And I do feel like, oh, this is not, Spirit trying to turn this into a whole past life regression reading, and I'm not trying to do that because those get really deep. And I don't necessarily have the time right now to do that, Spirit. But there is this sense of that happening. There is this sense of that replaying in this lifetime as well. Yeah. Okay, that's more of that past life energy. Still trying to talk about it. All right, is there anything else from your light or from your shadow side? Yeah, so your shadows, not your shadow, sorry, your light side is really encouraging you. Like your light body, higher self is really encouraging you to not shy away from these things, to face them and to look at them and to understand that it's really the sense of acknowledging who you really are. That's what I'm getting. Acknowledging who you really are. Yeah, and starting this journey here. With this page of rods. I'm sorry, I can't go into that right now. Okay. Yeah, and it's about walking away from that. Because you've invested a lot of past life energy into this. And I feel like you have invested a lot of energy into building up these and really following really strictly in these philosophies or these schools of thought that are very limiting of yourself. And it's about going inside and stripping that away. And your light and shadow self are both trying to kind of bring up both of these things kind of at once, to kind of balance that out within you, to find that peace, to find that harmony within you. Because that's what's creating this indecisive energy. If you're wondering, why can't I make this choice? It's because in the past, you've had to sacrifice a lot for making this choice. And so it's causing this kind of, it's almost kind of like breaking an oath, or breaking it, like, oh, I'll never do that. I swear I'll never do this again, or that kind of energy that you're breaking from the past, that you're untying yourselves from, that you're breaking those chains that have bound you in the past to people, place, things, schools of thought that really, hello, breaking those toxic generational mindsets, not only within this family line, but also within your soul family line, right? Within your own personal rebirth, past life line as well. So not only in your genetic family line, but also in your, yeah, you guys get, like in your soul, within your soul. I'm just gonna say that. There's a word there, but I don't have it. Anyway, so any last thoughts here about this? Any last things? Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Unbinding yourself from this past. Unchaining yourself from the ties that bind. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Your shadow self is saying, hey, pay attention to the things in this life that have bound you. And your higher self is saying, hey, not only that, acknowledge that, but also acknowledge things from your past lives, from this higher perspective, from, because your shadow self is more tied to this particular physical body. And your higher self is linked not only to this body, but to your past selves as well. And so it's saying, hey, unbind yourself from those chains that have bound you. Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realm. Exactly. They're saying we're here on the other side helping you to unbind yourself from these things in the past. Again. The great gathering. It's all coming together at Intuitive Hints Soul Tribe. So absolutely, your soul tribe is here coming together to assist you in letting go of these things from the past. And allowing yourself to rebuild. Tearing away those things and to allow yourself to really rebuild. And again, I'm getting that, this, what we've been talking about, is this tower that you are allowing to burn down, that you are allowing to trigger you so that you can evolve past it, right? And have that rebirth of yourself where you can finally say, no, I'm going to allow myself to shine as brightly as I was meant to. I might have been extinguished in the past. I might have been dimming myself in the past. I might have been, not allowing myself to be who I really was. The age of light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. Exactly. Thank you, Spirit. You've been training for this for lifetimes. Right? And again, the age of light, that kind of, there is another card in here that's called Pillar of Light, which I think came out in that other reading that I was talking about. Okay? Exactly. Do not dim yourself to fit in. Thank you, Spirit. Do not dim yourself. Shine that light brightly, and those who cannot handle your brightness can, they can turn their back, and because it's not about them. It's about you, right? It's about you. So don't hesitate to be who you truly are. Don't hesitate to shine as brightly as you need to shine. Don't hesitate and don't doubt yourself, because you are getting the intuitive hints and messages that you need, right? So trust your path, right? Trust your gut. Trust your guidance. Trust where you're being guided to go. You don't have to feel so fearful of the guidance that you're getting. Because I do feel like there is a lot of past life energy of really dealing and kind of facing this part of yourself that says, let's just stay quiet. Let's just stay humble. Let's just not walk down this path, because in the past, you know, it's really caused us a lot of pain before. So let's just dim. Let's just not shine as brightly as, you know, let's just kind of stay this kind of energy pillar of light. There it is. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle, right? And there it is again, breaking the chain. Breaking these chains, unbinding yourself. Thank you, Spirit. Ancestral patterns healing, rewriting the future. Giving yourself a different future. Giving yourself a different way of being. Cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. Exactly. So that you don't have to dim yourself, so you don't have to live in this fear. Akashic records, you are being divinely guided. You know, your Akashic records, your past life energy is guiding you immensely to your soul family, to yourself, to finding that version of yourself, the shadow and the light version of yourself that can coexist together, so that you can take that leap, so that you can feel unbound, right? So that you can take that leap and trust that the universe will catch you. All right, you guys, that's what I have for you. I'm so sorry about all the interruptions, you guys, today, but thank you guys so much for being patient with me. I hope this brought the love, light, and clarity that you really needed in this situation, okay? I hope that, like I said, with I don't feel as much like any kind of like positive effect to triggering energy and things on this side of the light body reading, but I really hope that it gives you the clarity that you've been looking for, or, you know, it just kind of gives you a kind of starting point on what to go from, or it gives you that kind of feeling of, okay, this is why I've been going through this. This is why I've been feeling this. This is why these feelings have been coming up. This is why this explains these dreams or these visions or whatever it is that you're that you're going through right now. I'm so sorry. But, right? So we know, as we've been talking about, and it's really a lot about partnership and how you view yourself. Spirit is really wanting you to really concentrate on letting go of these toxic mindsets, these toxic generational mindsets, especially around how you view yourself, the worth that you bring to a situation, and how you can stop looking for that outside source to bring about that energy that you seem to be needing. You don't need anyone else from the outside to give you that energy. You might have needed that in your childhood, which you might have lacked, which is why you feel this sense of lack now. But it is a sense now of acknowledge that you have the strength and you have the power to bring this about, right? That you have the power to bring about this fullness that you seem to want to fill, right? And everything that is happening now is setting up you to be able to fulfill this, right? Thank you guys so very much for being here with me today. I love doing readings like this. And honestly, it's not that I don't want to get into the past life readings, because I'll tell you what, I love doing past life readings. They are so interesting. They are so captivating. I love doing past life readings for you guys. If that's something that you guys would be really interested in, let me know if you'd be more interested in getting more past life readings. I also offer past life readings for personal readings, so check the link in the description box down below. Reach out to me if you're interested in getting a reading. If you guys have reached out to me, thank you for being patient for me getting to you. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so very much for being here with me. If you liked the content, give it a like. If you did, and you're not subscribed to the channel, think about subscribing and joining the tribe, sticking around, okay? Thank you very much for being here with me today. And I will see you lovelies in the next one, okay? Bye.